Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna start. I will start the interview now. Okay. Okay. So this is about Zheng He's Voyages, and I will now be asking you questions about this topic. So first, I'm gonna start with do you know Zheng He? First of all, have you heard about him?
No, no, I haven't heard about him.
Okay,
Who is
so
he?
he's like a very famous Chinese explorer. Like I guess the Westerners call him the Chinese Columbus, even though in my opinion he's way more successful than Columbus. But he commanded a fleet of more than 27,000 men, visited over 30 countries, and traveled over 50,000 kilometers. Like, and based on just like the books that a brief discussion on Zheng He's nautical charts, a study concluded that he wrote over 500 different location names, and in my opinion, that's very sophisticated and very hard work. And luckily, he went to he also had many stopovers in Cambodia, where he brought porcelain and lacquer to Cambodia, and Cambodia would send yellow wax and Cambodian spices, back to China. So and did training. In fact, he described Cambodia as a land with warm climate and fertile fields where the locals boiled seawater to make salt and had colorful customs. So he is quite famous here. That's why there was even a temple built to honor him, and even coins that had his name and portrait inscribed on it that was used back then. So, based on all of this, I want to know your opinions on how difficult do you think it was to achieve what he has done like 500 years ago?
I think it must have been really difficult because it was 500 years ago and travel was much, much harder. And he must not have he mustn't even have good tools to travel. And must have been harder to travel by sea, especially because of storms and all of that. And going to and like moving around so much can be quite difficult because you're switching from culture to culture so much. So I think overall it must have been really difficult for him.
Yeah, exposing himself to the elements like that, and you won't really expect him to stay around that long. But he lived till he was 60. I Yeah, that was quite something. So next I'll be asking you about so obviously, so China, China, he represents China. What do you think is the significance of or impact of his voyages around the world is to China and him? Like, what is their influence or economy? What do you think is the true significance of that?
So I heard like earlier you mentioned that he would send spices from Cambodia to China,
Yep.
and so not only like um, he was opening up paths for like trades, and not only was it benefiting China, like it was also giving China more exposure in a sense, and yeah, I think it just really helped with China's economy.
Yeah, I think like trading was one of the main ways on a country could really develop, because not one country can sustain everything they need. Yeah, so they need to they would have something that other countries need, and other countries would have something that they need. So I think, yeah, you're right. I think he opened up a lot of trading options for China, which improved the economy. So So I guess that's it for the interview. Your answers I think were very good. Thanks.